Welcome in to this Tuesday edition Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio here today. All podcasts on MPW Digital brought to you by Twisted Tea. More on them here in a little bit as we've got Ole Miss and Vanderbilt 6:30 Saturday SEC Network for that one. We did get the 11 a.m. start time for Texas A&M as well. So those are your start time updates for the next couple games for the 6-1 Rebels. Lane Kiffin spoke yesterday. We'll talk about that a little bit today. Got some pro topics. Got a weird, potentially really bad situation for Michigan brewing from a scouting standpoint. And a little of that today as well. So all that and more coming up on the podcast. Podcast brought to you every day by the Oxford Exxon Highway 6 West in Oxford and Blue Sky locations up and down I-55 throughout North Mississippi as well. Lunch specials, two sides. Bread, any size fountain drink. They change every day, $5.69, as well as your catering for the weekend. A couple pounds of pulled pork, pound of pulled pork, side items, vegetables, desserts, ribs, whatever you need. They'll take care of you there, especially as the weather is starting to get a little cooler. Heartier Grove options, good for you there. The Oxford Exxon can help you out. And again, come to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You get your quote, and the rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today, 662-257-1900. Guests join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. The Campbell Clinic is in Oxford now, 2608 South Lamar Boulevard, Suite 102, just across the street from the cottages at Hooper Hollow. The Campbell Clinic provides full-service orthopedic care, everything from sports medicine to foot and ankle surgery to spine and total joint care to pediatric orthopedics, physical therapy, and more. To book an appointment, go to campbellclinicoxford.com or call 901-759-3111. Walk-ins always welcome at the Campbell Clinic, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So got several things going on today. Again, Lane Kiffin spoke. What he said, what he meant. Quick Kids up as well yesterday. One of Lane's lengthier press conferences went on a little longer than typical yesterday. Mostly for positive reasons.
We went big picture.
Yeah,
he likes big picture.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought, look, press conferences are dependent on multiple things. Questions being asked. Lane's interest level in said press conference at the moment, what is going on positively or negatively, whether it's big picture, small picture, whether people want to ask questions. There's lots of things evolved around what makes a press conference decent or really suck.
I mean, sometimes
on the day.
Sometimes he doesn't want to be there, which is perfectly understandable. And sometimes we don't want to be there, which is perfectly understandable.
So all the humans, and I guess that was the point, is I
forgive
like
all parties.
I felt like yesterday everybody was mostly on the same page, and it was one of his better press conferences. I thought, as you know.
Oh, I'll be honest with you. You weren't in the room.
Yeah.
We were all in pretty good moods because we had just gotten the official 11 o'clock news.
That affected demeanor a little bit, you think?
I mean, no shit. A week earlier, we had gotten the 6:30 news.
It did seem to, yeah.
And everybody was kind of deflated because it was like, oh, my God. Vanderbilt's at 6:30? And then Lane walks in like a minute later, and we're all like, "Hey, what's up?"
Sure.
No, you didn't help us, And then yesterday, I think everybody kind of felt pretty good about that because that leaked out pretty right.
It was early, yeah.
But once we got confirmation, it was like there was a lift. And I know fans hate this. I get it. You and I will never see game times the same way, so forget it. There was just a kind of a joy in the room.
A joy.
Yeah.
A joy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, after that A&M game, everybody will be out of the we'll be
off air at like 5 o'clock, 5:30.
I'll be home done 5:30, 6 o'clock. It's fantastic.
Before this week even would have kicked.
This is fantastic. I mean, I can come home, pour a drink.
Light or not light a grill.
Can light a grill or not light a grill. Probably not light a grill. Yeah, just
throw something in the crock pot at like 10 a.m. Just get it out if you want at 6.
I don't know. I got to stay.
You can make crock pot healthy.
You can.
Use some broth, Neal. It's all right. Just don't throw a bunch of other crap in there.
My wife gets pretty happy with cold weather.
You mean from a food standpoint?
Yeah, and sometimes
hearty, if you will.
I heard you use that word a minute ago, and I was like, yeah, yeah, and I have to be like, we have that deal where I'm like, she'll cook something and you can tell she's really proud of it, and I'm like, I can't eat that. I mean, I can, but I don't want to. I get it. I know it's good. Dance that dance in the winter a little.
You're almost a little depressed a little bit over it right now.
Well, I just sort of know what comes because she gets irritated with me.
Do you think Lane read your story before he retweeted it?
I have no idea.
You don't want to take a guess on what he meant with the retweet?
Not really. No. I mean, I'm sure someone told him that I figured out the Morse code on the crowd thing, and he tweeted it.
It wasn't exactly a CIA level operative of information. Hey, guys, please show up because they suck, and we need some energy to get up for this game.
I mean, it was him saying what you can't say out loud as a coach, which is, look, we got super amped for Alabama. We got super amped for LSU. We got pretty amped for Arkansas. We got really amped for Auburn.
We need a minute.
I got A&M coming and potentially Georgia.
Georgia is coming.
Well, I mean, but if they beat A&M, it's going to be a different deal. We're a 25.5-point favorite over a team that's 0-4 in the league, and we're probably not going to bring our own juice.
Mm-hmm.
Not the dog.
You know, the dog's coming.
They'll bring juice. And so I think it was that. And we need the fans to sort of bring the motivation for us. You're going to have to bring some energy because we're going to need it, I think. And then he got questioned about the upsets and stuff, and I think he was pleased with that, which gave him an opportunity to say, well, the one just happened in the ACC, which is true.
He said he told him yesterday.
And that Vanderbilt led at the half last year, which is true. They did. They did lead at the half. I was there. I saw it. And upsets happen. Everybody in today's college football is pretty vulnerable. So if you're not,
look, Ole Miss has a tendency to play with its food. Georgia Tech for a half in Atlanta last year. Vanderbilt almost every damn time. They never just blow them out.
No.
That's what happens when it's.
I mean, I love Vandy plus 25.5. I
do too.
I think Ole Miss is going to win the game, but 25.5 feels like a tall ask.
It's a lot of points.
It's a lot.
I thought, and I guess that's my point on this, is this goes in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously, if you're an Ole Miss fan, you're feeling quite good at 6-1 and whatever Lane's 73% winning percentage since 2020 and all that stuff is. But all of his big picture stuff and just the way he talked about your program yesterday, I thought that it was maybe his best overall weekly press conference. From a couple different ways because he hit on everything, and he'd already hit on a little bit of Sunday he'd already hit on kind of I think you called it the theme and what he said, what he meant, but talking about the chemistry with transfers and the way that they've really focused on that. But he went more in depth on your question yesterday, talking about free agents and Patriots and the NFL and the way you have to evaluate all these things, but not just evaluate it in such almost a split second relative to time that you have to do that and figure out what works and what doesn't, and then work on it and all those different things. So you got that. I thought it was a press conference that, I'm probably getting deeper than he meant it, obviously, but just when you sort of step back and because I listened, I read, and then I read your thing and thought it sort of is a picture of where this program is right now overall, because you talk about the crowd thing. It was almost like a proud parent a little bit going, hey, I bitched at y'all and bitched at you, and I knew you could do better, and you did. You know what I mean? It was, and he had enough lighthearted in there to go, hey, sometimes you're really mad at me after games, and sometimes I'm really mad at you after games. We have this relationship or whatever, and, because he did. He went through crediting them for LSU and Arkansas because, and it was something that was needed. The crowd has consistently gotten better. They've taken his call for that. They've responded. Students have been awesome this year. Mm-hmm. And even last year there was kind of some bickering because I guess it was Kentucky to where it filled up, but he went, hey, you guys weren't very loud though. Like they still didn't have to use a silent count. He kind of still criticized a little bit, and I thought that yesterday was an interesting final kind of chapter of that. Of no, doing a great job, but hey, I really need you Saturday for a specific purpose here as we do this. So no, I mean, he talked about crowd. He talked about big picture. He talked about all these different things. I thought he just sort of hit on everything that has allowed Ole Miss to get to this place and where they are right now as a top 15 program or whatever your relative arbitrary number is that you want to put on it. And, you kind of step back and go, yeah, that's kind of who they are. They don't blow a ton of teams out, but they just find ways to win freaking football games.
Kind of said that yesterday.
I mean,
kind of, I wrote about that. He talked about the running game and different things. And what he was basically saying, if you listen to him, I think was they're not as explosive on offense as he'd like to be. The play caller in him would love to just
throw that.
Hey, let's just go super fast and let's do all this stuff. And it kind of doesn't work for his personnel. And
they've had to be really creative with personnel and figure out how to just find this little mismatch here and this matchup here.
Yeah. And he's just kind of figured out that all that really matters at the end of the day is the scoreboard. You got more points. Doesn't really matter how many more points. You just got more points. And then I thought it was interesting on Sunday, and so I followed up yesterday and asked about it. And I could tell right away that he wanted to talk about it because he gave this really long, sort of detailed answer about the portal and about how you bring guys in, and that when they first started with the portal, it was just, and he admits this, and I'll blame it's a new thing, right? It's not a criticism. It's a hey, you can play, all right, come on. And they did that, and there were some examples where it just didn't work because I don't think they really dove into the personality part. And now they've realized that, look, if you're going to turn over half the roster, which I think is something they'd prefer not to do, but they're going to lose a bunch of dudes off this team. So when you rebuild, when you reload, you do have to make sure that you have guys who understand that, hey, you might be asked to do a different role. Is that something you're going to be cool with? And if you feel a lot of resistance to it, you need to reevaluate whether you bring that person in, because chemistry really matters. And when you don't have the luxury, he pointed out, like if you have a team of 80-something guys and you're just adding a couple of you can take big swings.
Yeah, sure.
And if a guy bust, he bust. Move on without him. But if you're bringing in 40 people, well, you're going to have to build a new culture every single time. And if you don't have people who are amenable to that, it won't work. And I thought it was big of him Sunday night to say that last year's team was a talented group of individuals that was not a very good team.
And as soon as adversity hit, that was it.
Well, I go back to that interview I did with Jared Ivey in the summer when I said, hey, when was the first time that you sort of sensed things were falling apart? He was like, halftime of the LSU game.
And you're like, oh.
And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And Jared's one of the smarter people on that team.
Yeah.
And he was just frank about it. He goes, yeah, it was. The moment adversity hit.
And they were still living in the catbird seat at that point. Everything was cool.
They beat A&M, which sort of covered it up. But if you go back and watch that A&M game, they flirted with disaster that entire game. A&M just couldn't stop them because A&M's run defense was so bad. But then they come back and they lose to Bama, and then the rest. And instead of going, oh, well, it's a one-off, it happens. No, he said, we got to evaluate why this happened. And they did. I think that's a sign of – I wrote this in last night, I think. I don't remember exactly. But I think it's a sign of growth.
Well, and what you're talking about is it is going to happen, because when you're taking as many portal guys as Ole Miss is taking, 20, whatever it is guys who are going to have to fill different roles than they were at the previous school, and you have to identify that, and it's unlike any other sport. Basketball, obviously, if you go into the portal and grab dudes, you're grabbing guys that get on the floor and play, and they're going to be starters. They're going to be high-impact guys. That's what you're doing there because it's such a small number. In baseball, you're taking one shortstop. You're taking a second baseman. You're taking an outfielder, a pitcher. Like, they know what's coming.
Right. In
football, well, if you're at Central Michigan, not to pick on Troy Brown or somebody, but if you're at Central Michigan and you didn't really play a ton of snaps, you're not going to be at an SEC school. You were the standout guy there. You were whatever.
Right.
At Alabama and you didn't play, whatever. Well, okay, but you still are coming with this thing. The understanding that you're coming to a place to take a step back and roll or a step back in snaps, that takes a very specific dude who's okay with that, no matter what it looked like at the previous place. An understanding of the big picture, and yeah, they seem to have hit that. Look at the snap counts that are going on. It's not like Stephon Wynn and Josh Harris are playing 65 snaps, but they're doing really well with 20. Doing a good job. Yeah. Like they're finding some rotation stuff there. Not everybody's Jackson Dart who comes in and just plays and is your guy. And look, it's speculative. There's no way to know, but you wonder also if they've kind of gotten not lucky, because it's not lucky at all, but they got a couple guys who could have affected chemistry. They're no longer on that team.
Well, that's why
And
they
you
moved,
wonder,
they moved
yeah, that's
on
what
from
I'm saying.
them.
I mean, go, hey, we're not going to let you mess up what's a pretty good pot of stew right now.
I mean, I don't think you have to be a genius to figure out that that's why they got rid of Michael Trigg. He was causing problems.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just that he underachieved. He was causing problems. So they moved on.
Tight with some players, sets a bad example for somebody that's pretty high profile. A lot of reasons why that could potentially happen. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I went to look this morning because I was curious. You mentioned play calling and Lane yesterday based off that statement. And I guess I could have taken the time to go back even further to look at Alabama's different things. But what I found a little bit fascinating is that he was pass first at FAU during his tenure there, at Ole Miss in 2020, and still at Ole Miss in 2021. And then last year, as personnel shifted, Judkins, Evans, and then this year with what's going on, last year, 54% run. And then this year, they're 52% run, but that's a little skewed because that includes Mercer, where they threw the shit out of it in the first week, and it was 71-7, it's whatever. So, I mean, he's essentially been 52, 53, 53.5% run the last 2+ years after being very pass-heavy previously to that in his past few years, I guess, how to put it at that point. So, I don't know. He's managing football games. What is crazy is the difference compared to early in his career as a coordinator and coach that I did kind of look at and pick some games out, is the understanding and acceptance to just sort of run the clock and run the football in the second half. You got some pretty wild first half, second half splits from him on, hey, we're going to throw it in script because I'm pretty good throwing in script and figuring out what works and creating matchups on the outside, throwing the football. And then after that, we're going to bog you down. We're going to run the clock. We're going to set some tempo in some different ways from a run game standpoint. I mean, there's no doubt he's grown somewhat in that way.
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, it's not probably the team that he dreams of, right? Where you just have just a room full of incredibly talented wide receivers and you have 2 offensive tackles that are just locked down and you've got this elite back and a quarterback with a cannon of an arm. I mean, that's not what he has. It's not. So, I mean, they're not as talented offensively as people make them out to be. Mm-hmm. They're just not. I mean, they have figured out different ways to win, which is, I think, the reason that he's kind of really likes this team and he's sort of excited about this team, as opposed to, say, 2 years ago where most of the year you had to, all right, we need 50 points today. If we can get 50, we got a shot. I mean, that's not a sustainable. I mean, that's like the guy that goes, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose 50 pounds by eating 2 crackers a day. All right, yeah, well, okay, what happens in a week, right? That's not going to work. They've figured out different ways to win. They've won the last 2 games predominantly with defense, and the 2 units are sort of figuring out how to play together a little bit. So
they won Saturday off defense and, frankly, overcoming really bad special teams.
And penalties.
Yeah.
They had some bad penalties in the first half that they got to clean up here in the next few weeks. They can't. It's the one thing that he didn't get asked about it yesterday. He got asked about it Sunday a little bit, I think. I think he probably knows it. They got to clean that up. They got a couple of matchups coming up that got to play cleaner. A&M
and Georgia.
And obviously Georgia. I mean, Jesus.
You're going to take Missouri to cover, though, aren't you?
Next week?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, look. I think what's coming, by the way, Monday is the CBS is going to do the 6-day option. Because I think their choices for that week of the Georgia game are really result dependent. Yes, I'll be stunned, in fact, if they don't take the 6-day option.
See about Ole Miss. See about.
Well, here's the thing with Georgia. I didn't mean to go down the TV roll.
No, you're fine.
So the Georgia, Florida's on TV this week.
Yeah.
Georgia, Missouri's next week.
Yeah.
Georgia, Tennessee the week after Ole Miss is almost certainly the game they're going to take. So before they commit to Georgia 4 weeks in a row, I think they want to see 2 things. They want to make sure Ole Miss beats A&M, and they want to make sure Georgia beats Missouri. And if it's Georgia,
can they take a team 4 weeks in a row?
They're not supposed to, but they can.
Final year contract, whatever.
Whatever. What are you going to do? You're going to file a lawsuit? I mean, if A&M, I mean, if it's 9th ranked Ole Miss and top ranked Georgia, yeah, they're going to take it. But if it's some deal where Ole Miss were to lose or Missouri were to knock off, all of a sudden you have a completely different. So I don't think there's any question they take the window.
Yeah. Why not? You have it.
You have it. They haven't used it yet. And if you look at it logically and you put yourself in their shoes, would you take it? Absolutely. I would say, okay, we're going to exercise our little window here this one time.
Mm-hmm. We will look at game times for next week. We'll hit some other topics in a second. First, you're ready to elevate your college football game day experience. Check out Twisted Tea, your go-to game day beverage for college football fans. It's unlike any hard beverage you've had before. It's made with real brewed tea and packs a flavorful punch with 5% alcohol and no carbonation, delivering the perfect balance of taste and refreshment that goes down smooth for every game day occasion. No need to settle for the usual. Twisted Tea turns up any occasion, especially when you're cheering for your favorite team, whether you're tailgating in the stadium, parking lot, or watching in a bar, or hosting friends at home. It's there to elevate your game day experience. It complements your love for college football and your passion for creating unforgettable moments. So let's toast to unforgettable game day experiences. Twisted Tea, the drink that fuels fun and celebrates your love for college football. Keep it twisted.
My post-game column on Saturday will be brought to you by Whitney McNutt, Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors. If you're searching for residential or commercial properties in Oxford or Tupelo, contact Whitney McNutt for amazing professional service and support. Contact Whitney at tmhomes.com or 662-567-2573. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are some of the questions that can only be answered with a personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Sego with Sego Wealth Management specializes in helping people just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or you prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting and see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. We'll have a hand raise, guys, on Thursday. It's brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern 662-429-4429. A-Stock is a Nashville-based online retail company with the mission to provide customers the power to name their price. All items start at just $1. That's right. Every item starts at just $1, no matter what the retail value may be. So download their app or shop now at astock.bid. That's ASTOCK.BID. Name your price on thousands of items from big-name retailers. A-Stock has multiple locations around Nashville and Memphis, some in Indiana, and more coming soon that offer local pickups, so don't miss out. Also brought to you by the College Corner. If you're coming to Oxford this weekend for the Vanderbilt game, stop by the Oxford location of the College Corner. It's on right off Sisk Avenue in the Oxford Commons, more than 4,000 square feet of the best Rebel gear, plenty of parking available. Their staff's going to have you in and out and ready for the Grove in no time. Also, there's 2 locations in the Jackson area, and you can go online at collegecornerstore.com. Game Changer patches are the only 2-patch system available in the market to stop hangovers before they start. The warm-up patch used before while you drink. The overtime patch used after you've been drinking. Helps you recover while you sleep. The all-natural ingredients will keep you in the game, ready for your next play. Go to GameChangerPatch.com. Promo code RebelGrove20 at checkout for 20% off your purchase.
Podcast is brought to you by the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation. Single-game football tickets on sale. Vanderbilt this week. Texas A&M next week. So pick those up. You can also get your basketball season tickets, men's and women's tickets. Women's tickets available as cheaply as $50. Men's tickets available. And the Tads Pad game is coming November against Sam Houston State. You have to be in attendance. You can't be streaming. You can't be on TV. Nope, just in the arena. They got VIP packages. They got much more. Also, baseball season tickets for sale. Renewals there with that. So a lot of different sports available. Find out all that and get those tickets. That's OleMissTix.com. Podcast also brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer MedSync. If your prescriptions the same day each month and take care of you, they also can transfer your medications, make one phone call, and they take care of the rest. Again, that's 662-236-2222. How close are you following this thing in Michigan?
I mean, I've read a little bit about it. I've listened to some people talk about it. I'm a little surprised that it's this big of a deal.
It's partly because of how dumb they have been. I mean, you kind of look at it, and it's, you know, when we obviously covered the Ole Miss case, where a couple times you looked up and went, "Why'd they do that?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you go, "That's just stupid." And I feel like Michigan did this because I asked a couple coach people that I know, hey, does this happen? And they said, well, yeah, but not common. But sure, I mean, this is a thing. But there's so many ways to just cover your tracks. Hey, don't use your real name of a staffer buying the tickets. I mean, this is committing the crime and using your real name for all the tickets to get to where you're headed and then walking in. I mean, that's what doesn't make sense here. It actually, it's almost like a plot in a book where if I had read it, I'd go, no, that's too dumb.
Yeah.
Like that would never happen. That's not how this thing would work here. I think they're potentially screwed.
I mean, I agree with everything you just said. My thing is this: there's 100,000 people at these games. Everybody's filming everything. Of course, everyone's doing this, but this isn't why Michigan's winning games. They're not winning games because they did some subterfuge and figured out.
The last time they weren't able to do this, though, they got beat by TCU. Just saying.
Yeah,
kidding.
I know. Sometimes the NCAA is just so remarkably petty that I side with the other side no matter what.
And see, I agree with you, but frankly, I think you should be punished for being stupid.
Well,
so I'm kind of like, you know what? If you're going to be that stupid, you deserve it.
I mean, I'm for that, but from a societal standpoint, there's going to be a hell of a lot of punishment dished out here pretty soon. Which I'm for, by the way.
I mean, reading from ESPN, Connor, is it Stallions? Is that how we're pronouncing his last name?
I think so.
There's not two L's, but I'm gonna assume phonetically that is correct. Michigan staffer's making like $55,000 a year. He purchased tickets in his own name for more than 30 games over the past 3 years at 11 different Big Ten schools. Sources at 11 different schools told ESPN. I bet they were more than happy to talk to ESPN about Michigan's transgressions here, including basically every ticket he bought was somewhere between the 45 and 50-yard line. It was at least more than halfway up to get a good view. And multiple times when it was a Big Ten game with future Michigan opponents, he had tickets on both sides at the same game. Not put them in. It is so dumb to where, yes, I want whatever the book that can be thrown at them to be thrown at them. This is insane.
But
no, come on.
We're going to make them ineligible to go to the playoff?
I don't know.
I mean, because that's punishing the kids for something. That's,
I don't care, but
I don't know. I'm so anti-NCAA. I just think it's a collection of buffoons. Of course, everyone's stealing signs, and if your signs are that easily stolen, get better signs.
Now, the NFL punished the Patriots for something that was not this.
Yeah, but that was recording a practice that was not open to the public.
Yeah, sure.
It's 100,000 people.
They are.
A lot of these Big Ten games.
Sure. Although no one is sitting there with their cell phone literally for 60 minutes going.
But again, if it's that easy to interpret your signs, change them.
It breaks two rules. One, meaning you can't scout an opponent in person.
Which is ridiculous.
1994 is when that rule went into effect.
Which was probably so that universities could save money.
And yeah, because you wouldn't have to. It put away hey, you have to go to wherever and do this. And then second is something to do with actually recording the video, but there's really no precedent on this because it's fairly new. So I don't know what that means or doesn't mean. An opposing Big Ten school looked up in-stadium surveillance video from a game earlier this year and said the person in the seat of the ticket purchased by Stallions held his smartphone up and appeared to film the home team's sideline the entire game.
God.
What?
Just the stupidity all around.
That's what I'm saying. Sources indicated Stallions forwarded tickets to at least 3 different individuals with the ticket transfer showing up their ticket data tracking. The tickets were used by individuals other than him to get into a game, including the one in the video the NCAA is expected to receive. He purchased the tickets with his own credit card. He added that tickets at multiple venues were bought via the online retailers such as StubHub and SeatGeek.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there was a clear pattern to every ticket he bought. It had to be in a certain area of the stadium. They had multiple people in the stands for some games, individuals for others. Again, he had sometimes them on both sides. Yeah, let's see. Allegations of this type are coordinated and orchestrated capturing of signals looms as distinctly different allegations of the gamesmanship of attempting to decode signals from across the sidelines. That was from the Big Ten. The second potential rule being broken, evidence of which has not been reported prior, could mean that Michigan violated Article 11, subsection H. I mean, this book is a
Article 11, subsection H.
Yeah.
Because when you mess with subsection C, it's like, it's not a big deal. But when you get to H.
Any attempt to record either through audio or video means any signals given by the opposing player, coach, or other team personnel is prohibited.
Without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. Of course.
Yes, exactly. Always be able to hear like Skip saying that in like the bottom of the eighth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Strictly prohibited.
Oh, God. Let's see. What else from this story? I'm just kind of scanning. The schools began discovering Stallions that he had bought the tickets himself, and it raised suspicions because either the home school or visitors were future Michigan opponents. He's a former captain of the United States Marine Corps who boasted on LinkedIn and his knack for, quote, identifying and exploiting critical vulnerabilities and centers of gravity in the opponent's scouting process. He had been a volunteer at Michigan, according to LinkedIn, from 2015 to 2022, when he was hired full-time in May of 2022. He has subsequently erased multiple social media accounts since his name became involved in this.
I about got it right. It's any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. There you go.
It's about the time, being the bottom of the eighth, Skip be like, yeah, the guy over from Gwinnett just left. He can beat traffic to home, blah, 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 blah. I just, when you're stupid, no, okay, that's some of it. Like, as Hardman says, I mean, some of those tickets are expensive. How do you afford that on $55K? No, the school paid for all the travel and tickets. That's actually what creates the problem here, if you will.
Although they're going to have to be able to prove that this guy didn't do it on his own. I know he didn't, but you got to prove that he didn't.
Went to 11 schools off $55K a year.
I don't know.
Traveled, bought the tickets.
Credit cards, babe.
Okay.
A lot of people live way beyond their means. Got to prove that he didn't. Got to prove that Harbaugh and Michigan knew it. Supported it. Reimbursed it. Almost subpoena power.
It's Harbaugh at Michigan in 18 months.
No, he's gone. He's going to the NFL. If he can get a gig.
NFL?
Yeah, he's gone. He's out.
So what's the appropriate punishment? What do you do? You're the czar of the NCAA.
You got to pay a fine and 10 lashes or something. I don't know. I mean, got to go run some stadiums. I'm having a hard time getting super worked up about this. I just don't think this is why.
But if it doesn't matter to gameplay at all, why even do it? I'm playing devil's advocate.
My guess is everyone does it.
I don't know.
My guess is that everyone does this.
I mean, ask Tyler at 2 o'clock today.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler's going to take up for coaches.
And say no?
He'll say that, or he'll dance around it, which is fine. I understand. Number one, he's a coach. And number two, he's got a whole bunch of clients that are coaches.
That's true.
I'm not. That's
not even friends, but
that's
actual.
That's not a judgment of Tyler. I get it 100%.
You want to be the NCAA czar?
Oh, I'd change some stuff.
Sit at your desk and use your stamp every day.
I mean, I think I'd be a pretty effective leader. I'd bring a lot of common sense to some things. I mean, I can tell you that every one of these kids that are in basketball that are waiting for a waiver request would have already gotten an answer by now.
One way or the other.
We wouldn't be doing this.
Has anyone gotten approved? I keep seeing no's.
Supposedly a kid at Arkansas Little Rock got approved. A kid who started his career at Arkansas, transferred to Texas A&M, and then went to Little Rock is now eligible.
Okay.
I don't know his details.
You don't know specificities of his case.
I don't know what's happened in his life or anything like that.
Okay.
And I've heard some other guys have gotten no's.
Oh, really?
But I mean, we're October the 24th. It's inefficient.
That's what's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's inefficient to do it.
People seem to
This
think that if Brandon Murray's not eligible, he'll hang out and play, and Cisse won't. It's kind of the scuttlebutt.
I mean, I've heard that, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm not reporting by any stretch of the imagination.
I want to be super careful about what I say on that because I don't know. And I asked Chris Beard about it yesterday, and I could tell that Chris Beard has hit his limit on being.
He's tired of the question.
He's tired of the question.
He's also frustrated with the lack of an answer, obviously.
I would think. He's putting the public face on, look, we have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for whatever the case may be. But I'm sure in the back of his mind, he's like, hey, we're playing games here in a couple of weeks. I'd like to know who's available and who's not. I'm sure there's frustration there.
Did he say anything about the scrimmage?
It was a secret.
Okay.
They had some adversity at some point, and he liked the way that they overcame it.
They had adversity in the scrimmage?
Yes. I don't know whether that meant somebody got hurt or whether that meant they gave up a 12-0 run. I don't know. It's a secret.
I think he's coaching game hard in this.
Yeah, for sure. But this is the stupid part, right? This is where you want me to get worked up about Michigan. Uh-huh. And I'm like, this is still the same organization that is insisting that, yes, you can have a scrimmage, but it must be a secret. Why? Why?
What is their reason?
There is no reason. We don't want to publicize that. We don't want it to turn into a competitive advantage. Whatever. I mean, Ole Miss played Houston at a community college in Baton Rouge. Cool. Why would you want to keep? I mean, why is that a secret? We're going to fire the coach? You lost by 4 to Houston. By God, I want answers in October. Stop. No.
They're not even that's what's. Sure, there's a final score. But these things, I mean, I even know this. They're not played through, hey, we're going to set the clock at 20 and we're going to count down to 0. Then we're going to take a halftime break and do it again. No, there's it's situational crap half the time. Hey, we're going to do some half court sets. We're going to do some I
asked him if they did a regular 40 or if he basically said that they did a regular 40 and then they did some other stuff to get some other guys some run and to look at some things. But he couldn't go into details because that would be letting the secret out.
What's the punishment if you go, yeah, Brakefield and Morrell combined for 24 and 11, and we I
don't know.
This is stupid. It's all really dumb.
Yeah, so that's my problem with the Michigan thing is that I'm just having a hard time getting super worked up about it.
Did you watch baseball or football last night?
Baseball.
Exclusively?
Now that I think about it, yes.
I turned on football a couple times just to check it. I caught the end of the first half when Jordan Addison made the hell of a catch and the 60-yard touchdown for the Vikings there. I guess toward the end of the first half. You didn't catch any of this.
No. I read about it this morning.
He took a ball away from a defender and then ran in for a 60-yard touchdown. And then I caught the very end of the game as they did. They picked off Brock Purdy in the red zone to end the game and win 22-17, I think was the final. Something like that.
I turned on Phillies Diamondbacks when it started, and I was working, and I watched it.
Got after Nola, 1-5-1.
Got after him pretty good. I actually listened. I went for a walk and listened to that game. And then I watched a good bit of Astros Rangers until it was completely.
I think I turned it off at 10-2.
Yeah, I went to bed at 10-2.
Yeah,
I felt pretty confident that the Rangers had that one in hand. And then if not, I'd wake up and read about one hell of a comeback. Wow, yeah.
Who do you want to win tonight?
I've catch myself cheering for Philly.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't really know why. I think because 3 or 4 of my favorite players in the game play for that team.
3 or 4, really?
I'm a big Kyle Schwarber fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big Nick Castellanos fan, and I have forever.
You like to use some Bryce Harper?
I love me some Bryce Harper. Diamondbacks are good, and I also don't like the Diamondbacks because they're the ones that killed the Cubs. It wasn't the Braves. It wasn't Suzuki's play in right field. It was losing 6 of 7 to Arizona.
You can't not like them over that, though.
It's
not their fault.
Watch me. You want me to be petty over Michigan? I can be petty over the Diamondbacks. I mean,
a sort of hot, mediocre team eliminated my team from the postseason, so we're going to root against them to make the World Series.
There you go.
I mean, they're fun. They're good.
They're good.
They're not great.
They're young. They're good.
They're Braves 21-ish.
They're a little scary. But I find them unlikable right now.
They're just nondescript. I can't find...
They were fearless as hell yesterday. I'll say that.
Yeah. Look, it's a hard damn place to play in the postseason.
I listened to some of the pregame stuff.
I watched the Braves melt.
They had their general manager on MLB, and they were asking him questions about, if I told you back in March that you'd be in Game 6 of the NLCS, and dude didn't take the bait. He was like, look, we're here to win. I mean, we're trying to get this thing to tomorrow, and let's have a Game 7 and see what happens. Thought that was interesting.
Yes, I was pulling. I mean, I wanted the Phillies. I wanted the Phillies to lose, I guess. But like I said, I find myself really respecting them as much as I want to hate them. I'm having sort of an internal problem with the Phillies right now.
Well,
I've struggled because I do. I go into it going, no, Philly, I need you to lose. And then I get into it and I go, God, y'all are kind of fun.
That was that weird moment last night where Nola walks off the field and you're like, there's a chance. You don't think about it in that moment, but there's a chance that he just walked off the field as a Philly for the last time.
Mm-hmm. And yes, I wanted Arizona to win last night because I just wanted to see more baseball. I wanted a Game 7 tonight. So whoever wins to get to that point. And then in the AL, it's kind of a weird deal because obviously the only person I know is Gray. I'd like for him to do well. I'd like for him to win and go on, but I definitely am not pulling for the Astros as a team unit. So it's a bit of I'll find a positive in this no matter what comes from this, I think is kind of where I was. But as Texas was piling it on, I wasn't crawling under the bed crying. I
wonder when the last time that the road team won all 7 games of a series.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's happened before, but it didn't. It happened this time.
Yeah, Hayden agrees with me. As a Braves fan, I feel like I need to hate them, but they're way too likable.
There's
really things they do that get on my nerves, but in general,
yeah, it's kind of hard to dislike Trey Turner. What's he done? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, Alec Baum, JT Realmuto. These are guys that aren't particularly hateable.
If I thought the Braves actually had a chance to win the series, I would have gotten more worked up and annoyed that they acted like somebody yelling something created the difference in the series, as we talked about. That did kind of frustrate me, but okay. You find it wherever you can find it, I guess.
Yeah. Find an edge where you can find an edge.
Bullshit, but sure.
Sure.
Kind of forgot the Nationals won the World Series in 2019.
Yeah,
that's a bit forgettable right now.
The year after Harper left, and everybody's like, see, he's no good. That was a bad hot take.
Don't agree with that one.
No.
Feels a little forced.
Feels a little petty. I think he's a terrific player.
That's the other thing, too, is the Phillies have been on these couple really good postseason runs. And, I mean, as everybody who's listening to the podcast at all knows, I feel this way. I kind of like teams that deserve a title, get a title. I like the universe writing itself in a way. And out of the teams remaining, they fit that bill of the one that kind of deserves it from a franchise standpoint.
Yeah, for sure. Their fans are amazing.
Had Atlanta not won in 21, you'd be doing the same thing going, hey, the Braves have been really damn good. They deserve to win a title.
I caught myself watching these 3 ladies behind home plate that were just
the ones waving the stuff.
Well, they were over the top excited early in the game about every strike call, and I was like, okay, someone's trying to impress somebody.
That's not sustainable.
I was like, someone in this group has a ton of money and the other people are trying to impress that person.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, there's no question. I was like really watching it.
Did you figure it out?
Nah, but I almost went down a rabbit hole. Like, who are these
people? Trying to
people?
figure it out?
Yeah, a little bit. And then I caught myself like, you do not have time for this. Move on. Be disciplined.
Be disciplined.
Let's go. You've got a story to write. Get it done. Come on. You told your wife that you would grill the tri-tips. You've got work to do. Come on, let's go.
What were you doing that for?
Because she'd asked me to.
What meals were we doing?
Just having it.
Oh, just to have it?
Yeah.
Throw it in the fridge?
Because we live with the human vacuum cleaner that
protein's a high element of the diet.
Just eats, yes. We hear him at 11 o'clock. And
he's rustling through stuff?
Yes. He eats a lot. If I ate that much, I would be rolling out. I wouldn't fit through the door. Yeah, there's like dishes. We wake up at
You would just never
6
stop
a.m.
moving. You would be doing the podcast while walking and
Yeah, we'd be doing the
running and
podcast
moving.
on a treadmill or something.
Surprised you hadn't gone standing desk route.
I've thought about it.
Have you?
Yeah, but I don't sit as much as I used to. I've figured out better paths.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm better I'm better at time management now than I used to be.
Okay.
More efficient.
Another way to really help out with your time management is HelloFresh. Get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivering right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. A crazy schedule can make it easy to fall back into your dinner time recipe rut. Keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every week. It's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. And we all know HelloFresh takes the hassle out of mealtime, but you know it can save you money as well. It's 25% less expensive than takeout. So it means you get an easy home-cooked meal on the table and more money back in your pocket. I've used it a lot over the course of the years with HelloFresh. I know we're all busy. We got schedules with stuff going on. They make it simple. Again, it's easy to cook stuff. It's not like you have to be some kind of chef to be able to get the meal on the table. HelloFresh can help you out, and they can do it with HelloFresh.com/50MPW. Use the code 50MPW. That's 50 for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/50MPW.
We're brought to you by Pinnacle. Pinnacle is home to the Pinnacle 401k advisory services team. Get in touch with them. They'll conduct a complimentary, no obligation benchmarking and analysis of your current 401k plan. Again, it's mypinwealth.com, MYPINN wealth.com. Brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. Get in touch with John. Give him some parameters. Give him a budget. He's going to give you travel options that you're not going to find on your own. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. Brought to you by OPA. It's Oxford's newest Greek restaurant on the square. It's also the perfect place to plan your company party, your festive party event, your Christmas party. Fabulous food, great craft libations. They can accommodate up to 200 guests. For catering or booking information, contact Jeannie at 601-421-7147. And we're brought to you by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency. We told you yesterday about if you're looking for a job, but if your company is looking to hire quality, hard-to-find talent, Service Specialists can help you as well. Keep in mind that payment of service solely contingent on if you decide to hire a candidate that they send, so you have nothing to lose. Give Will, Sydney, or Kelsey a call at 662-832-5138 or check out their new and improved website, servicespecialistltd.com. Get the beautiful and healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. So schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself at corinthdental.com. You mentioned what he said, what he meant. That's brought to you by myperfectfranchise.net. Are you a displaced corporate executive wanting to put your career in your own hands? Are you an experienced entrepreneur looking to diversify? Either way, Andy Ludicky can help. He owns multiple franchises and businesses, uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy, put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. You've got nothing to lose. Find your perfect franchise at myperfectfranchise.net or contact Andy at myperfectfranchise.net or on his phone, 404-973-9901.
Podcast is brought to you by Northeast Spark. That's NESPARC. Service people across rural communities. 2 packages, the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze, the 1 gig that powers the Clark Ford studio. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's NESpark.com. 662-238-3159. Phone service, parental controls, network security, and much more. So to get the best internet in Lafayette County, that's 662-238-3159. Podcast also brought to you by PrimeShrimp.com. 7 different flavors. They've got their 2-pound bags of individually frozen shrimp. So many different options, and they make it easy for you. They deliver it right to your door. You unpack it, you throw it in the freezer. Fewer than 10 minutes, freezer to plate, to get restaurant-quality shrimp with Prime Shrimp. And now we're going to give you a great deal. 5 pouches or more, 25% off. So get a lot of your favorites, stock up, or try some different things for the first time. Take care of dinner tonight easily with Prime Shrimp. That's code RG at primeshrimp.com. So Texas is in. Philadelphia, Arizona. That game tonight, 7 o'clock on TBS, I believe is the correct time for that.
Yep. Ranger Suarez and the young kid for
It's the
Arizona.
same as last time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, same dudes.
They pitched against each other in Game 3 on.
That is a nerve-wracking day you got going on today.
That was
Thursday, you got to
Thursday,
sit
right?
around.
Yeah.
You're sitting around all day long.
It's the rematch of Thursday's game. I listened to that game on the drive up.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
You think Philadelphia wins?
I don't know. Game 7, man.
Score first.
Flip coins.
Score first. Momentum in Game 7s are just so
huge.
That's what I remember the most about the huge comeback for the Red Sox in 03, 04 was after all the drama, the Game 7 being a blowout, you kind of turned it on and went, can they finish this? And it was just a bludgeoning from the very beginning. And you went, okay. I was pulling for Boston, but it was just kind of like,
yeah.
I got really down in the weeds back in the day, like studying that rivalry and year and series and stuff. Like that was one of my sports fascinations for a long time was the Red Sox comeback in 04 after losing on the Boone home run the year before.
Yeah,
and the whole
down 3-0.
Them going, don't let us win Game 5.
Yeah,
because you had Pedro and Schilling back to back.
Yeah, it was don't let us win Game 4. Kevin Millar.
Oh, right, 4.
Kevin
That's
Millar
what I
saying
mean.
that.
Yeah. Game 4
to Dan Shaughnessy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dave Roberts and stolen base.
It's a great rivalry.
Deal.
If you've never been to that rivalry, you should go. There's a reason ESPN shows it all the time. It's a compelling rivalry. It's really good.
Giannis, 3 years, $186 million on an extension.
So Milwaukee has basically said, "Or here's brief NBA content."
Yeah, you're good.
Trigger warning.
You're good. I'm raising my hand. I
Along with
read a headline.
Damian Lillard, they basically said, "Okay, here's our window."
It's true.
Here we are. We're
Go
in.
get it.
100% in. Got these 3 years. We're going to try to win a title or two.
As they should.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, Carson came in yesterday. It was like $62 million a year. I'm like, and it's worth it if you win a title.
That is the professional sports statement is if you win a title,
it's worth
yes.
it. Yeah, 100%.
Whatever the hell that looked like, yes.
I mean, if Philadelphia wins a title, you think they're going to go, hey, we really kind of overpaid Harper? No, it's worth every penny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you might not be happy all the way around with the entire era, but a title allows you to really not be able to completely bitch.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I did it with the Saints. Should they have won more? Yes.
Yeah.
Should they win more titles? Yes.
But they got the one, which is one more than a lot of people get.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
I mean, there's a list of teams, players that didn't get one.
Franchises that don't have one.
It's hard to get one. It's damn hard to win a title. It just is. It's hard to win a championship.
Giannis is 28. Keeps him there at least the next 4 seasons.
Yeah. It's their window. I mean, look, there's going to come a moment for them when the Damian Lillard contract is an albatross. It's inevitable, but
that's not today's problem.
That's not today's problem. And Giannis said, if you want me to sign and commit to staying here longer, you got to. I need more players. And so they said, okay, well, we'll go do the Lillard thing. We'll pay for it down the road, and they will.
Are they set up well
for like the next 4 years? Yeah.
I mean, roster wise, they're
for the next few years, yeah, for sure. There was I wish I could find it now. ESPN did I could find it. ESPN did a thing about over the next 3 years, organizationally, what NBA teams are most set up for success.
Okay.
And they were way up there. Let's see if I can find it. They're so obsessed with this James Harden thing. James Harden's been a distraction forever.
Ole Miss fans will understand this from college baseball. I saw people saying this that were at the game last night just in general. It seemed like Houston was very tight last night, crowd-wise. I don't know what it means or doesn't mean, but it seemed like they did not have the normal energy that.
When you have a chance to win it in Game 6 and you don't, the crowd's different the next day.
There's an inevitability until you prove that is not the case.
Yeah.
If you're an Astros fan at the game last night, how long would you have stayed?
Me till the end.
You would have.
Yeah, I'd support the team.
Yeah.
If you're that far.
Game 7 ALCS. We're here.
Yeah.
Good year. Had fun.
I mean,
enjoyed it, guys.
There's a lot of teams.
7 straight years in an LCS.
It's incredible.
I mean, it's a hell of a run.
I mean, it is.
Ask the Braves how hard to do that is.
There's a reason nobody else ever does it. It's very, very hard to maintain that level of success.
You have a history. Thoughts on your boy hanging it up? Dusty Baker.
Oh, he's 74 years old.
Yeah, I just mean legacy-wise.
Oh, he goes down as one of the best managers in the game.
Is that true?
Yeah. Okay. His ability with people to bridge gaps with people and people from different backgrounds and different races and different ages. Now, there was a criticism in Houston that he played veteran players too much.
Baker been a manager since 1993, but was a coach, not a full-time, not an actual manager from 88 to 92 prior to that. So it's been coaching in some elements since 88. He retired as a player in 1986. So only 2 years later.
All right, so here it is.
Yeah.
This is NBA Future Power Rankings projecting the next 3 seasons. This is from a collection of NBA insiders. To determine the future power rankings, they asked ESPN analysts Kevin Pelton, Bobby Marks, Andre Snellings, and Tim Bontemps to rate teams in 5 categories relative to the rest of the league. So it's Boston's number 1, the Celtics. Denver, number 2, coming off a title. Oklahoma City's 3rd. Memphis is 4th.
Oh.
Golden State 5th. Milwaukee 6th. Miami, the Knicks, Phoenix, and the Lakers round out the top 10. And if you're curious who's at the bottom of this list, and I am, the Wizards are last. They suck. Hornets next to last. Blazers are 28th. Chicago Bulls 27th. Rockets are 26th. Pistons 25th. So those are the teams that they're really down on. Curious where the Spurs are in this. I'm going to guess pretty high with Wembanyama. Spurs are 18th. They were 28th in this thing a year ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Memphis a year ago was number 1. They fall into 4. The Thunder were 23rd a year ago, and they're 3rd now.
Oh, wow. We talked about Lincoln Riley a little bit yesterday. Inside USC, which is a former beat writer for USC and multiple things. He runs an online site now. Tweeted out yesterday afternoon. One issue with Lincoln Riley, what is his base of support? He keeps a low profile on campus, doesn't interact with students, faculty, or staff, doesn't go to booster meetings, doesn't do much with former players, didn't even host the Salute to Troy dinner, which is literally his job. Just a little sign early. Just a little thing. And it's also
I told you Saturday was a
college
sign.
Football takes certain personalities at certain places. It doesn't work there like that.
I told you Saturday was a bad sign.
It's something Lane has had to get better at here. They require, not to the level of Auburn or somewhere, but they require, you require some interaction. You are the face of the campus in a lot of ways. You can't you better win like a mother if you're gonna play along.
Lane does better at that.
No, he's gotten better.
Yeah.
Lane is more comfortable here than maybe anywhere he's ever been for a long period of time.
Probably so.
He has now coached more games at Ole Miss than any other place he has been as a head coach.
I mean, he would like for Oxford to have an ocean.
Well, but sure. Yes.
But other than that, I think
he's. Look, who knows?
I don't know him, so I can't go, oh, he's happy. I don't know if he's
it's not about
happy or
happy.
not.
Just he looks more comfortable.
Yeah.
His interactions feel more comfortable.
In fairness to him, his first year was the stupid COVID thing. That was a bit of okay, well, how am I supposed to acclimate in this weird deal?
Mm-hmm.
You get the job, and then you don't even know until late August whether you're even going to have a season or not.
It's true.
I mean, in all fairness, that's not the best way to start.
Yeah.
And then you have 21, and then, and then I think it was just his natural inclination to hey, what about this job? What about this job? What about this job? And he's gotten to a place where he's comfortable. He looks comfortable. I mean, they didn't put it in the transcript yesterday, but I did ask him, how'd you teach Juice to tweet? Because Eckert, so people don't understand how this works.
This is actually funny. Go ahead.
David Eckert has an assignment from Gannett to write a story about juice. And so David's waiting till sort of the end of everything, and he asked him the juice question, and you can sort of, because David's sitting right behind me, you can sort of feel him bracing for, oh God.
And Lane was
But
fine.
Lane, to his credit, answered the question, even played along a little bit, and gave him some detail about, look, I don't even know where Juice is most of the time. They bring him up, where is the dog? And he's like, he'll be here at 8. He had an appearance.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he's all over town.
He's like, this was not planned. I know people don't believe me.
Landry wanted a dog. We got a dog.
Landry wanted a dog. We got a dog, and this thing has happened. And I believe him.
Yeah.
At first, I probably didn't believe him, but over time, I think Lane's telling the truth. And so I asked him, I said, well, how'd you teach him how to tweet? And he answered that funny. He said, honestly, sometimes, I don't know exactly what he said. Something about.
They took that out of the transcript.
They took it out. Yeah. It was like, sometimes we let Juice tweet.
So he doesn't have. Yeah.
We let Juice tweet things that I kind of wanted to tweet.
Yeah. Or something along those lines.
And I was like, okay. I mean, I respect that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because he doesn't have.
He says things I can't put my name on.
Yeah, he doesn't have opposable thumbs.
Yes.
I'm guessing he didn't do it, right? So, I mean, he's a bright dog, but I don't think he's that bright.
There's going to be some parents quite pissed off this morning when they see that their cherub was involved in this. I see the Oxford Police Department tweeting out last night at approximately 1 a.m. 2 females vandalized the Globe fountain at the newly dedicated Pocket Park next to City Hall. There were a larger group of individuals damaged. Individuals' damages are going to be in excess of $5,000, which is a felony. If you have any idea who these two are, please contact the police department, 232-2400. Park was just dedicated this past Thursday. They will pursue charges. And there are very clear pictures of the two assailants. So somebody got up and went, damn it.
That was going to be a bad phone call today.
I mean, it's not good.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting called every name. What? Just come home. I got to yell at you in person.
Yeah. That's why I don't get worked up when I get the pretty insignificant phone calls.
Could be the bad one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, once he's out of
Don't do dumb things.
Once he's out of school, I'll tell this story about the one time that I got a call from OHS. Yep. I'll wait till he's done.
Okay.
At least till he finishes his soccer career.
Going to protect the innocent a little bit here.
Well, I'm just going to protect him.
Yeah.
He was pretty innocent. It was just.
You do have one at the top of your mind, though. Automatically, you know,
it's right there.
No, it's here.
Oh, I think they thought I was going to be livid at him, and I was livid at them.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
It didn't go how?
I don't think it went how they anticipated it would go.
Okay.
But I'll wait till it had nothing to do with the soccer program, by the way, in case anybody thinks that. I have nothing but great things to say about the OHS soccer program. They've been awesome.
Yeah, Hunter's a good dude.
Yeah, Hunter's a great guy. Staff's terrific. They're really good.
Fall is here, gentlemen. Not like fall camp. Fall's actually here now. We're there right now, and it's about to get busy during the holidays. So don't let that stop you from sticking to your habits and being the best version of yourself. That's where our friends at Caldera Lab come in. They're the best in the skincare game with an easy routine. Keep your face looking pretty no matter your schedule. Plus, what's better gift than clear skin? Join the other 100,000 men who trust Caldera Lab to show your best self and first impression this fall. It is a great gift. Caldera Lab knows skincare world is a heavily female-driven, has long been the wild, wild west for men. That's why they're making the solution simple. They got the regimen. It's 3 products: the clean slate, the base layer, the good. The clean slate starts and ends your day. It's a face wash that leaves all skin types refreshed. The base layer is your daily moisturizer to hydrate your skin and jumpstart your day full of confidence. And the good is your go-to multifunctional serum at night to help your skin look tighter and smoother. Helps reduce the visibility of wrinkles and fine lines. They're the leader in men's skincare. Made with top-tier ingredients, and clinical trials have found 94% of men's skin showed an overall younger-looking appearance after using it for a few weeks. It's 1 minute in the morning, 1 minute at night, all it takes to reduce your wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging. So just for this audience, an exclusive deal. You're not going to beat this. Use MPW at calderalab.com. 20% off right now. That's 20% off with MPW at calderalab.com to make the unforgettable first impressions with the best gift this holidays. 20% off. CalderoLab.com, MPW.
Southern Traditions Farm is a 68-acre, 32-stall upscale equestrian training and boarding facility in Canton, Mississippi. 2 sand rings, a grass ring, miles of wooded trails, so much offered at Southern Traditions. Horseback riding offerings from beginner lessons to advanced to competing in nationally recognized competitions. It's also a great venue for events and things of that nature. So get in touch with them on Facebook or Instagram at Southern Traditions Farm. Would you like some peace of mind knowing that your roof is taken care of, whether you need an inspection, a new roof, or a maintenance program? Riverland Roofing has you covered, home or business. As a GAF Master Elite contractor, they can offer warranties that last a lifetime. Licensed and insured, Riverland services Mississippi and its surrounding states. So text or call Riverland today at 662-644-4297. And are you ready for the ultimate college game day experience? Welcome to College Town, Oxford, your new home away from home. They know you want the best. That's exactly what they offer. No more long commutes or missing out on campus events at Ole Miss. It's right next door to the university, and they offer spacious 2, 3, 4, and 5-bedroom cottages, each with individual leases because they believe in flexibility and simplicity. So get in touch with them today on their VIP list, and be the first to know when their leasing for fall 2024 is open. 662-300-3733.
Podcast also brought to you by Johnson Hill Creamery. That's johnsonhillcreamery.com. Tailgate packages this week, Vanderbilt. Next week, Texas A&M. Let them help you out. They got tons of great options. They got the feta dip, the pepper jelly, all kind of specialty trays. The artisanal, the charcuterie, which is my favorite, or the grazing. They got sandwich trays, fruit trays with the cheesecake dip, crudité, and much more. They feed 10, 20, or 40, whatever you need there at Johnson Hill Creamery, and they make it easy for you. You pick up at Chicory Market. You tell them Friday or Saturday for pickup and what game you want, and they'll make it happen. Again, you can order everything online. Don't have to talk to anybody. johnsonhillcreamery.com.
So who we betting on the Super Bowl if you had to bet today?
Ooh.
Chiefs are back to being the favorites to win the Super Bowl, according to BetMGM.
Okay.
Niners have been off a couple of weeks. Don't look as good. Miami lost. Philadelphia is number 3. The Niners apparently are still sitting at number 2 in the odds.
Sure.
Kansas City is plus 450. San Francisco's plus 500. Philadelphia is plus 600. Dallas is plus 1,000.
The NFL is built on parity and just making the tournament and having a chance. But what's weird about that is, like, I'm looking at ESPN's power rankings right now.
Mm-hmm.
Their top 10 power rankings, which is just their kind of their poll, if you will. Chiefs at 1. Obviously, the Chiefs can win the Super Bowl. Eagles at 2. Duh. I picked the Eagles in the preseason. I'm sticking with it for now. 49ers at 3. Sure, they can definitely win it. They look weird the last couple of weeks, but they're good.
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing them to that point. Dolphins at 4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They got to prove it a little bit postseason, but sure. Okay. Baltimore at 5. Do we believe in them having that type of team week in, week out?
Well, they looked the part the other
They've never
day.
done it, but
yeah.
But then here is where it gets funny. Already at 6, we're going, yeah, but Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Nah, but. Dallas at 7.
No.
Cleveland at 8.
Mm-mm.
Detroit at 9. They can get hot. They can get hot.
That was that performance Sunday.
I know. Sunday was bad.
It's hard to put that out of your mind.
Buffalo at 10. They're 4-3 and they don't look right.
No.
See, this is my point. Are we already out of it? Is that it? Are we talking about like 4 teams?
Feels like it.
Which is never the case. It's never that simple.
No.
A lot of season to go.
Well, you got playoffs. Chris Olave arrested.
Was he?
Yeah.
What did he do? They don't throw to him anyway, so it doesn't like it matters.
Saints Chris Olave arrested on suspicion of reckless operation of motor vehicle. He was arrested and booked Monday night on suspicion of reckless operation of a motor vehicle, according to the Kenner Police Department.
Oh.
He's bonded out of jail. He was going 70 in a 35.
Oh.
Saints are 3-4, sitting 3rd in the NFC South.
They are, yes. They suck on offense. They suck on offense.
You know, the NFL,
I watched that on Thursday like a root canal. I was going, oh, my God.
The NFL has so much parity that it's I think the middle of the season, you sort of hit a lull.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wait to get to the other side a little bit.
Seahawks are 4-2 at number 11.
Yeah.
They're not winning anything.
I've watched them.
Steelers at 12. He's a hell of a coach.
Oh, he's terrific.
Hell of a coach.
He's terrific because they don't have a lot.
I think he's the best coach in the league.
Other than Andy Reid?
Okay, I'll give it to you.
I think Reid's the best coach in the league.
Sure. Okay. Today, the best coaches in the league are Reid, Tomlin, Peterson.
Yeah.
And then I think those are the three, and you can go from there. Shanahan, probably.
Carroll.
Yes.
Really good.
Yeah. I mean, they're 4-2, and they're not 4.
Yeah, with Geno Smith and some dudes.
Because Bill's not anymore. He's gotten older.
Yeah, no,
it's over.
Yeah. Had a hell of a run.
He's getting his wins and his stuff, and 2 decades. Yeah, it's hard to do.
I mean, hell of a run in that. Wow. In the NFL?
Bengals at 13.
It's not there.
Not enough.
It's not there. Now, if you told me a team got hot, I would tell you they're at the top of the list of teams that could get hot.
I get this is unlikely. If somehow he does come back, the Jets.
Oh, yeah, sure.
They're 3-3. They're treading enough water to still be in this thing.
Sure.
They're not out.
Well, and defensively, they're elite.
Yeah.
And they've got pieces if he came back healthy and spread it around. Sure. What a story that would be.
I know. Texans at 17, Chargers at 18.
Boy, that tells you something about the Chargers, doesn't it? They've already fallen below the Texans in this short order.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Lincoln Riley, by the way.
Keep your house and go across town.
Kind of, it'd be a pay cut.
You might need a pay cut. Saints at 20, 3-4. One ahead of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
Colts at the 22. Commanders at 23. Packers at 24. Raiders, Giants. Giants got to win.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Beat the Commanders.
Patriots at 27.
Yeah.
Titans at 28. Good God.
They're bad.
Tajay Spears is having a good season.
He is.
Tulane running back.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job. Broncos at 29. Bears at 30. Cardinals at 31. And then the Carolina Panthers suck at 32.
Yeah, he's a rookie. I don't want to judge a rookie, but
you take Stroud today.
It's hard not to judge the rookie.
You take Stroud or Richardson today.
Oh, for sure. If you're the Chargers, would you rather have Riley or Harbaugh?
Harbaugh. He's done it in the NFL.
Probably Harbaugh.
He's done it. He's been to the Super Bowl.
Took a team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no. Not even a question.
Without a talented quarterback.
There's no – because here's the deal. Lincoln Riley is showing you a lot of flaws in his ability to manage right now. That's what's failing him at SC, is the ability to fix things that need fixing, to find ways to help with defense. Things that Lane Kiffin has done. I mean, localizing this thing. Lane has done a hell of a job with that. Lincoln Riley has shown no ability to do that whatsoever. And then when everything starts going and you got to, you got to hunker down, you got to be inside the walls and all that stuff. Oh, we're shutting out the media. We're doing this. We're taking out this. You're panicking. You're losing yourself. That doesn't work in the NFL. No, he's showing an immaturity as a college football coach right now.
Yes, 100%. Just wait. Just wait. See, I think Washington is going to do fine in the Big Ten. There's going to be an adjustment, but I think they're going to be fine. Oregon, I think they're going to be fine. He's really good. Lanning's a really good coach.
He's damn good.
They're going to be fine. There's going to be a little adjustment. People are going to go, see? No, they'll be fine. USC? Dude, I'm telling you. They're going to have a reckoning. If you told me that USC or UCLA adjusted okay, I'd go, maybe UCLA sort of quasi figures it out.
The best thing in a 5-year span of doing this transition to different leagues that happened to Oklahoma was Lincoln Riley leaving.
100%.
I'm big enough to admit wrong there. Venables taking Oklahoma to the SEC is much better than Riley taking Oklahoma to the SEC.
Venables has Oklahoma far more stable and prepared for that move than Riley.
And having the right personality as a program.
Yes. He's done a good job. We don't even talk about them as a title contender. Right now, they're a title contender.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
I mean, I don't think they're good enough to win a title, but
I would put my money on Lanning, the next coach at Alabama.
Well, 100% it will be his job to turn down.
And you take it. I know what you're saying, but when you get that job, you don't say no. Unless you think you're replacing the next guy and you're just hanging on.
Dan's young enough.
He could wait it.
To wait it out.
Yeah.
He's making an absolute fortune at Oregon. They give him whatever he wants. He could let the next guy fail. I just don't know that I want to walk into that office and go, this is Nick Saban's office for the last 20 years. He won everything.
Yeah.
He dominated the sport.
The sport has changed. It's harder now.
The only guy that has been able to even quasi-replicate what he did was the guy that learned at his right hand. I don't know that I'm really ready to do this right now. I mean, if you go 11-2 in year one after replacing Saban, people are going to go, Saban would have won it. If I'm Lanning, I'm like, wait a minute.
Let the next guy, and then we'll.
Well, and I also want to see, hey, how equipped is Alabama as equipped as Oregon is in the NIL era? I don't know. Maybe. Wouldn't mind seeing it for myself for a minute.
Does Kirby get out? Go take that job.
Does Kirby go to Bama?
No, does Kirby just retire?
Oh.
We've always heard he's getting out in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, and Lanning would be the first call that Georgia would make. And I'd rather have the Georgia job.
Yeah, I think so too. That's what I was thinking.
And I'd rather be the guy that replaces Kirby Smart than the guy that replaces Nick Saban. And I have tons of respect for Kirby. He's terrific at what he does. But Saban's the GOAT. I mean, Saban's the guy. You know what I mean? I mean, Saban's a living legend.
Front of ESPN.com, last thing here, the headline of the main story. I would have fans that would go to opponents' games. Coaches talk sign stealing, and the picture is the Ole Miss sideline. Falcon, a Arby's roast beef sandwich, a Saints logo, the Blue Delta logo. They're getting a lot of pub on ESPN this morning.
Yeah.
Actually, a full Blue Delta page, including a model and another pair of pants. Dwight Schrute, Snoop Dogg, all listed on the signs for Ole Miss here. So if you'd like to hieroglyphics out what that is calling, feel free. I don't know.
Probably should have asked Lane about the Michigan thing yesterday. It's probably an error. Just felt like we've been there long enough.
I was looking to see if Ole Miss is even in the article, considering they are the picture, and they're not. So, go figure.
That was just a creative photo they could use.
It appears. I'm scrolling through really quickly to see if I'm missing anything. They open it with Jamie Grant, who was on the equipment staff at Auburn in the early 2000s, is their lead.
Okay.
So I guess somebody you might have come across at some point.
I don't know that name.
There's honor among thieves. A former SEC coach said, want to turn someone in, fine, but you better make sure no one in your building is doing anything remotely resembling cheating. Several Big Ten coaches, a Big Ten coach, a coach with Big Ten and SEC experience. Kind of said what you said, which is what's the big deal? It's all on TV anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it appears that everything's unnamed, so I don't know who is what. Kiffin nor Ole Miss's names appear in the story. I've Apple F'd them.
Okay.
And they are not there. So, anyway.
It doesn't strike me as the kind of thing Lane would do. My guess is that Lane would be like, my guess is his answer would be, I don't see what the big deal is. Everybody's trying to steal signs.
Mm-hmm. So
you need to make your signs more complicated.
Right.
And also, here's the thing. Unless you know for sure what's coming, you could screw it up.
And you have to know with enough time, like
super fast.
Yeah, it's relaying that is next to impossible.
Fast. One of Lane's most interesting answers yesterday, now that I think about it, was about about crowd noise.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying one of the reasons that tempo works is that the fan, as opposed to the old traditional huddle, come out, you see the play clock ticking down, is that fans knew when to get loud.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, when you run tempo, sometimes they don't really know when to get loud.
Oh.
But he did say that Auburn got so loud that they messed up, they couldn't hear.
Yeah, messed up cadences. Yeah. So
anyway.
All right. Rebelgrove.com. Got several things up there. And then no availability this morning, by the way, again this week. Just interviews after with players. So just heads up on that. And then Ole Miss Vanderbilt, 6:30 SEC Network on Saturday evening. We'll have a Dead Sox post-game show following that game. You can all hang out. Neal's picks on Thursday and more coming. So take care. Have a good day.